Devin Townsend? Greetings, humans. It is I, Devin Townsend. I have travelled across the interwebs to see a review on my album. You shall make me the best review in this universe, live listener raced. And don't forget, you have 5 Earth minutes. Well, I guess you could say I better make light work out of this. Hi people, and hello my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here from 5 Minute Reviews, and on this episode we're going over Devin Townsend's newest album, Lightwork. I am so keen for some twisted Townsend riffage. Oh man, he is just building this one up. Can you feel it? And he's second now. I don't think it's going to be that kind of record. No, definitely not. So, straight up, I was hoping when this album would drop, it might be a heavier record, akin to Epic Loud or Transcendence. However, this record is a much softer tone, more similar to, say, Key or Ghost. Not that I have anything against those albums. In fact, I think Ghost is probably one of the best efforts Devin has put out, but it gets overshadowed by the rest of his catalogue. I am happy though that this record is more cohesive than Puzzles and Snuggles, which are okay, but when the lockdown was in effect and every band except for Metallica were forced to write music instead of tour, Devin did what he does best and started many little projects, including even a podcast, which is enjoyable as he discusses his previous records in details. With Puzzles and Snuggles records though, I get the feeling that his chaotic mind was left to wander too much as he experimented on odd ambient songs. I mean, those records were unexpectedly different, and I knew that this record would be a more cohesive effort, and thankfully it is. But I'll admit I felt slightly let down by the light work of this record.
There it is!
So that's how it got its name. Like with Epic Loud. I should have seen that coming. Anyway, once I adjusted my temperament for what to expect, I found this to be a fairly enjoyable outing. It is light in sound, but still has some tunes that get a thick dose of Townsend's guitar tone, like with the lead single, Lightworker. With a great build-up and choral vocal accompanying the tune. Devin knows when to throw these in the mix, like how Salt Bae knows when to add salt to that slab of thick meat. And Devin does well to bring his scary snarls towards the end of this track for full effect. Another great song is the song Call of the Void, which seems to be possibly written about COVID with realistic lyrics about an appropriate response during those trying times. The great thing about this song is its depth to also be open to interpretation to other mental illnesses even. Heartbreaker is a complex song where it has a gradual build up and some decent although repetitive lyrics. I found myself coming around to this track more and more after a few plays, similar to many of the songs here on offer. When it comes to forgettable songs, however, there is Vacation, which isn't a bad song, albeit it's a very pop rock track with its simple chords and added synth sounds edited on top. It's just a bit too generic for me. Now, upon the first playthroughs, I thought the closer song, Children, was a decent song. I mean, it's a long track at over 10 minutes in runtime, and I like the longer tracks, but in hindsight, its repetitive lyrics and lack of musical evolution just feel tiresome. I mean, you could listen to the first minute or two, and that's pretty much it for the whole song. It's on loop until its ending changes with a shift in style and a long fade out. Overall, I would give this album... Wait, aren't you going to talk about the deluxe edition? I guess I could. Well, it's a whole other album, so you better. Okay then, as per your request.
I need the biggest seed bell you have. No, that's too big.
If you listen to the deluxe version of this album, then the second side is where the album takes a different turn. The opener, Starcasm Part 2, is heavy, and follows up on the same song found on Puzzles' album. It's a big deviation from sound reflected on the Lightworks album, and one I welcome. Even the 37-second blast beat filled Stamps Blaster shows the sonical change of pace that is on full effect as it leads into the technical track Fractions with its time signature changes and complex rhythms within. It's a wondrous piece to behold. A great start to the deluxe side, showing that Devin hasn't lost any edge to him, but it follows with the quasi-waltz piece Yogi, which is pretty average. This is followed up by the perplexing at times and poorly edited Precious Sardine. I don't know if this was an unfinished track or how it was meant to be because its change in style is so abrupt at times. I just don't like this track, and I feel that this is a cut track from the Snuggles recording with its 10-minute runtime and various electronic sound effects all on display. Outside of the first 3 tracks, I don't really care for the rest of these songs. I mean, Boogie was an interesting take on Latin rock, like Devin tapped into his inner Santana, but with the exception to the song Sober, there aren't any redeeming songs on offer. I get the feeling that these songs didn't make it to the album because of the massive change in styles compared to the album, and I completely understand this decision. However, I don't understand why Devin would want to put these on a deluxe version of the album instead of, say, delaying them and putting them maybe on another record that is more heavier and suited in sound. It's just an odd choice. Well, anyway, with these new tracks, I will now rate the album. Overall, I would say this album gets a rating of 2 million chilies on the spicy scale, with standout tracks being Lightworker, Equinox, and Call of the Void. If I include the deluxe edition, it would bump the rating only slightly to 2.5 million chilies, as it is just too bloated to play through the changes and styles too much. But I would have to say my favourite tracks would be Starcasm Part 2 and Faction. I must say I feel a bit disappointed by this release. Again, it's not a terrible album, but it's just subpar. When Devin has done quiet albums, he has done so in the past rather masterfully, but here it just feels like a chore to listen to, and for a restful, almost trance-like album, that should never be the case. Well, I know that wasn't under 5 Earth minutes, Devin, but how did that sound to you? Devin? Devin? Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Live Listen Erased. And if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it with all your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Chili Con Carnage crew so you can get notified for all the future videos that we put out, as we put out videos every Friday. Also, we are on Discord, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter over at Live Listen Erased, so make sure to tune in over there. And don't forget to like this video so that our manager can stay very happy.